Let's do the countdown. Here we go. Yes, I know I need to add more to my gallery wall here. All right, people, let's just start, shall we? Here's something nobody talks about when you leave a job to build your own business. The structure disappears, but your nervous system actually doesn't get the memo. And that gap is exactly where accountability goes to die. I know, very, very dramatic. Hey, Ripple Makers, I'm Janic, founder of Ripple Effect Leadership. And if you're an entrepreneur who has the vision but is still figuring out the plan, you are in the right place. Leadership, creativity, and strategy for entrepreneurs who want to build something intentional, that's what we do here. Here's something I've been noticing lately. Entrepreneurs who are smart and capable and driven, whether they're still working full-time and quietly building something on the side, or they've been running their own show, their own business, for years, many are struggling with the same thing. Accountability to themselves. Not because they don't know what to do, but because for most of our working lives, structure came from somewhere outside of us, right? A school, a job, a manager, somebody to report to, somebody to stay accountable to, deadlines someone else set, someone watching our output and telling us whether it was good enough. And in most of those environments, most of us had no trouble managing our time and our energy, our calendars, our schedule. The structure did the heavy lifting for us. It told us what good looked like. It gave us a box to work inside. And then we became entrepreneurs and the box disappeared. But one of my clients recently described this perfectly. And she said it felt like the box was gone, but she was still behaving as if the walls were still there. That really resonated with me. So still bumping into edges that didn't exist anymore, so to speak, still shrinking into a shape that no longer had anything to hold it. She called it the invisible box. And the moment she said it, I thought, yes, that is exactly it. I got a preview of this exact feeling about 20 years ago, and it still makes me laugh. I went from working in nonprofit to the pharmaceutical world. I know, that's a whole other video. But when I was working in nonprofit, I had a micromanager, someone who wanted to know every single move I made. She made the meetings for the meetings to talk about the meetings. I went from working in the nonprofit sector under a micromanager of sorts to a role in pharmaceuticals where I was working from home for the very first time. But when I was working from home, I kept checking in with my boss constantly, every decision, every update, every little thing, until one day he called me and said, Janic, he's like, I trust you. I'm here for you if you need me. I'm here for you if you have questions, but I don't need to know your every move every day. And I didn't know what to do with that at first. It felt genuinely uncomfortable. But then something shifted. I realized this was actually the first time in my career that I had to get shit done when no one's looking, so to speak. No one checking in, no waiting for approval, just me, my work, and the trust I was slowly starting to build with myself. And honestly, it was the first time I really understood what self-leadership actually meant. But it was one of the most important professional moments of my life because it forced me to start building trust in myself. And when I went full-time in my business years later, I felt it all over again, not knowing what to launch or when, not knowing how to hold myself accountable without anyone checking in. Seriously, realizing very quickly that systems weren't optional. They were the whole thing. And I'm still building, still practicing, still figuring it out. Okay, my biggest accountability challenge right now is actually batching my YouTube videos. My goal this summer is to do 2 or 3 batching sessions where I record multiple videos at a time and not wait until the last minute to record the next video. It's Friday. I'm posting on Sunday. Okay, so I'm not there yet, but I'm still practicing and I'm still determined I am going to batch this summer. So when we're talking about this topic, I'm including myself in all of this because I want you to know that this isn't something you figure out once and you're done. It's ongoing because, well, life and biz sometimes shift and things get in the way of our schedules. And the fact that I can laugh about it now instead of spiral about it, that's the work that's paying off. Okay, so why does this happen? And here's what I want you to hear because this is super important. This is not a discipline problem. If you're nodding along through this video, it doesn't mean you're lazy or unmotivated or not cut out for this. It means the opposite. The people I work with who experience this are some of the most capable, self-aware entrepreneurs I know. What we're missing is a system for structuring unstructured time. And that's not a character flaw. These are skills that nobody teaches us throughout our careers because for most of our working lives, we simply didn't need them. The structure was always there. Someone else was always holding the container until suddenly they weren't. There's also something more emotional happening underneath it. Open space can feel genuinely uncomfortable when you've never had to create your own structure before. So instead of stepping into it, you recreate constraint out of habit. You shrink back into a box that isn't even there anymore because constraint is what kept you safe and validated for a really long time. And I say this with so much love and compassion because I have been right there with you. And some days I'm still there. You're like, okay, Janic, but what do we do about this? So if any of this sounds familiar, here's where I'd start. I want you to grab a piece of paper and write down every area of your business where you've been stalling. I want you to jot down everything, not the tasks themselves, the areas, launches you keep pushing, decisions you keep circling, content you keep meaning to create, things you've been procrastinating on because somewhere in the back of your mind, you're afraid of what happens if it doesn't work. So now look at that list and ask yourself honestly, am I stalling because I don't know how to do something or because some part of me is waiting for someone to tell me it's okay to move forward? That distinction matters. If it's the first one, you don't know how to do something, like maybe tech is getting in your way, use YouTube as your guide. I have learned so many new tech skills from YouTube videos, so thank you to all those YouTubers out there. And use this platform for professional development in yourself. And it's free, which is bonus. Because if it's the second one, that's not a strategy problem. That's the old wiring doing exactly what it was trained to. So I want you to go to your list and pick one thing on it just for this week. Just one. Give yourself permission to move on it without waiting for a signal that isn't coming. And notice what happens. Structure you need now doesn't look like the same structure you had at your 9 to 5. It's going to look like something you build for yourself on purpose over time. And that process starts with one decision you stop postponing. And if you want help building that structure, that's exactly what I do with my clients during the Ripple year. It's a full 12 months of working together to build the systems, the accountability, and the confidence to actually follow through. The link is in the description. Or reach out, happy to chat with you. If this video resonated with you, drop a comment and tell me where you've noticed yourself still operating inside walls that aren't actually there anymore. And before you go, if this was helpful, give it a like and subscribe. I'm on a mission to reach more kick-ass entrepreneurs just like you. Thanks for watching. Peace out, Ripple Makers.